Donald Trump has found a new enemy because South Africa, along with the European Union and China, are making moves. They want to punish America's biggest tech titans.
And we were able on our own, and we will find solutions for our problems. So stay out of our issues.
Something unprecedented just unfolded, and it's sending shockwaves through Washington. 13 African nations didn't just say no to the United States, they shut the door on Donald Trump himself. Lavish aid packages, military alliances, and exclusive trade deals were all offered, and one by one these countries walked away. Why? Because behind the glossy promises were demands that cut deep-cut ties with China, hand over strategic resources, and toe the line on American foreign policy. What Trump framed as Partnership Africa saw as pressure a new face for old imperialism. Launched in early 2025, Trump's campaign to reassert U.S. influence on the continent was meant to be a comeback. Instead, it became a standoff. From Ghana to Egypt, Africa responded with clarity. We don't trade sovereignty for favors. This isn't just diplomatic friction, it's a turning point. The old playbook of control through aid and coercion is breaking down. In its place, a new narrative is rising, one where African nations chart their own course. In this video, we're unpacking every move. 13 countries, 13 rejections, one global message: Africa is choosing independence over interference. In February 2025, Uganda was offered a $450 million U.S. tech package to modernize its digital infrastructure. Behind the glossy pitch were alarming conditions. U.S. firms like Palantir and Raytheon would control Uganda's national data centers for 15 years, gain unrestricted access to mobile and internet data, and demand the removal of Huawei and ZTE, providers of over 65% of Uganda's telecom backbone. President Yoweri Museveni publicly rejected the offer on February 14th, declaring, "Our sovereignty is not negotiable, not for cables, not for code." His words ignited national protests. Over 38,000 people marched in cities like Kampala and Jinja under banners reading, "Our data, our nation." Instead of folding, Uganda doubled down. Just 10 days later, it signed a $1.1 billion 5G expansion deal with Huawei and ratified the African Union's Continental Data Sovereignty Charter. The USMS retaliated by freezing $62 million in aid and withdrawing tech advisors, but the damage was done. A March 2025 Afrobarometer poll showed 75.4% of Ugandans supported the rejection and 81% demanded data sovereignty. Uganda's digital economy, worth $2.3 billion in 2024, is projected to double by 2030, making foreign control a dangerous gamble. Museveni summed it up. "Our nation was never colonized by code, and it never will be. Uganda's future will not be downloaded from someone else's server. Africa's digital freedom is no longer optional, it's essential." In January 2025, the Trump administration offered Morocco a $1.2 billion aid package, including defense technology, satellite infrastructure, and trade concessions. But the cost: Morocco would be required to fully normalize relations with Israel, open an embassy in Rabat, and publicly support the U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. King Mohammed VI responded with a rare national address. "Morocco's principles are not for sale. We will not trade dignity for dollars." The backlash was swift. Massive protests broke out in Casablanca, Rabat, and Marrakesh, with over 120,000 demonstrators flooding the streets under banners reading "Palestine First" and "Jerusalem is not for sale." The U.S. pushed back by halting a proposed $400 million arms deal and suspending diplomatic visits. But Morocco did not waver. Days later, the government signed new defense and tech agreements with Turkey and Qatar and reaffirmed its commitment to the Arab League's stance on Palestine. Polling from Maghreb Research Group in February 2025 revealed that 87% of Moroccans opposed normalization tied to foreign pressure, and 91% supported King Mohammed VI's rejection of the U.S. plan. With deep cultural and religious ties to Palestine, Morocco made it clear no foreign aid can erase history or identity. "We do not accept coercion," the king said. For Washington, it was a diplomatic defeat. For Morocco, it was a stand for sovereignty and solidarity. Nigeria turned down a multi-billion-dollar USS proposal that would have restructured its oil industry. The Trump administration's offer included advanced energy technology and new trade incentives. But in return, Nigeria would be required to hand over majority control, more than 50% of its national oil assets, to American corporations. That proposal triggered immediate outrage. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and its largest oil producer, generates over 90% of its export earnings from petroleum. Surrendering control of that lifeline was seen as economic suicide. Editorials across Nigerian media branded the deal as modern colonization in disguise. Politicians from both ruling and opposition parties denounced the offer, and in a rare moment of unity, the country's National Assembly issued a unanimous resolution rejecting any foreign ownership of core national resources. The president responded with a televised address declaring, "We are not for sale, not our oil, not our future." The fallout was seismic. The U.S. threatened sanctions, but Nigeria responded by accelerating new energy partnerships. Within weeks, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation signed a $2.4 billion joint venture with a Chinese firm and entered a trade agreement with Brazil on refined oil products. Polls showed 81% of Nigerians supported the government's decision. Rather than bow to pressure, Nigeria set an example for the continent's sovereignty and self-reliance come before foreign incentives no matter who offers them. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.